What the fuck?
You don't need a haircut?
Dog, I'm trying to tell you something. This is the problem, man. The motherfuckers is fucking with a nigga shot at me. He shot at me in front of people. I want to fuck his bitch. He's talking shit to me. I mean, I don't understand this shit, man. What the fuck is we gonna do?
He shot at you?
Yeah, nigga, he shot at me. Nigga, I was shooting at the nigga. I was in the motherfucker. I'm in the club. Nigga shot at me in the club. We gotta do something.
You should probably handle that.
Yeah, well, motherfucker, I'm gonna handle it. What do you want me to do, nigga? Let's handle it. What the fuck?
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah, exactly.
So what? What the fuck?
Handle it.
I'm handling it. You gonna see me handle it. You do it now, too.
You don't need a haircut.
How did Dame Dash and Jay-Z go from what you just saw, good friends and business partners, to this?
How did you meet up with Jay-Z, who was from Brooklyn? Because like you guys, you Harlem guys are tight.
You really still curious about the Jay-Z?
Absolutely.
Yeah, what platform we on?
No,
I'm sick of talking about it. Let's talk about something else.
It's a different platform.
I know, but I want to talk about something else.
Yeah, but we
I'm sick of that question.
Big conversation going on about this NFL thing. Do you think that Jay did Jermaine Dupri dirty with this situation that's been described multiple times? I just seen Funkmaster Flex talk to JD and confirm that that's what happened. I'm sure you feel some type of way about this.
I mean, everybody knows Jay ain't shit. Like, that, everyone knows that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but does that surprise you at all? Because that seems particularly shady.
Listen, if you ask anyone in the industry, it's a common knowledge that Jay ain't shit. You know what I'm saying?
Define ain't shit for our audience.
He's
here.
about the bag. You know, we all know that. It's about, he's self-preserving, period. Like, you know, it's just that the people he does it to don't have, like, Beyonce next to him. They don't have that kind of a power. But, you know, this dude here, everyone's looking.
Dame Dash was the confident, self-assured guy who could sell oxygen to humans or sell water to a fish. He was the ultimate hustler, and he could make you believe in anything.
My objective was to take over the whole entire planet. I made a conscious decision to take over the world. I like to spend all kinds of money. I like the dollar, I like the euro, I like the pound, I like the franc pause, I like the yen. In order to do that, I had to go into those particular marketplaces and take it over. I sell broken buttons, fried eggs, I can sell motherfucking sour milk, I sell rules, I can sell anything. Like I'm a hustler. I ain't breathing shit money.
This was why Dame Dash became a very successful businessman. It's also one of the reasons why he and Jay-Z became business partners. If you are to do business with Dame, you have to deal with his arrogance and the big bald ego. It's one of the factors that made him quite successful, but it's also one of the reasons why he and Jay-Z eventually stopped working together.
Once I made my first million, I was like, this shit was too easy to make. I want to have 20. Then once I made my first 20, I was like, this is too easy to make. I could do 100. I didn't do 100 yet. You know, cash liquid. I generated it and grossed it, but never had 100 to look at. But I know I could get it, you know what I'm saying? And I know I can get $1 billion. I know I could get it, you know what I mean? So it just made me hungry to want everything in the world. Like, it just made me believe that no one's better than me.
Dame and Jay created one of the most successful hip-hop labels of all time. Dame Dash actually began hustling from a very young age. He began by sweeping at the local barbershop, to selling newspapers and also selling crack. The man did everything he could to make money. And even at his young age, Dame was richer than most of the adults around him.
You know what I'm saying? So having more money than people older than me made it where, you know, it made me kind of arrogant because they didn't have anything that I felt I didn't have, and I just felt they were living the square life. So
He then became popular in Harlem for throwing parties with his partner, Kareem Biggs Burke. It was after this that Dame moved into the music management business, and this was how he eventually met Jay-Z. Dame was introduced to Jay by DJ Clark Kent. They both first worked together when Jay-Z was featured by Original Flavor, a group that was managed 6 million copies in the US alone. So, when it was time to renegotiate their deal, Dame was now negotiating from an even stronger position. They signed a 3-year extension worth $30 million. This was when Dame, Jay, and Biggs decided to expand their empire. Roc-A-Fella signed artists such as Memphis Bleek, Cameron and the Dipset, Beanie Sigel, M.O.P., Noriega, and even a young Kanye West. Dame Dash and his partners didn't stop at just music. They diversified into other businesses. They bought a vodka brand called Armadale. Armadale was sort of like Ciroc before Ciroc, but it just wasn't as successful. However, while one business venture failed, another was hugely successful. Dame initially tried to collaborate with an Italian clothing brand called Iceberg. Iceberg was the brand that many hip-hop artists and Roc-A-Fella rappers favored at the time. Jay-Z even mentioned them on some of his songs. However, when Dame approached them to do a deal together, he was turned down by the company. So in true Rockefeller fashion, they gave a middle finger to the big corporation and decided to start their own. In 1999, the Roc Boys started their own clothing brand, which I am sure many of you are aware of, Roc-A-Wear. Rather than helping other brands promote their business, what stops you from starting your own?
That started like I would make records, and I would talk about like various like clothing brands, you know, on the record, and then I started noticing like you know, people would come to the shows wearing the clothes and things like that, and I know I was selling a lot of clothing for these companies, and I would go to them like, we should work out a deal. I think I'm affecting your business a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you should work with me. You know, we could work together, do some ads and things like that. And they was like turning me away. Like I don't think they understood the amount of clothing I was moving for them. You know what I'm saying? And I wasn't doing it. I was just doing it to paint a picture. But at the same time, it was economical for them. And, you know, they wasn't compensating me for it at all.
Initially, Roc-A-Wear started as a simple brand that had their logo printed on mostly plain t-shirts. But the brand soon grew into a fashion giant, and the man who was the major cog in the wheel was none other than Dame Dash. Yes, Jay-Z was the face of the brand, but Dame was the one who played a major role in getting the business off the ground. Within a year and a half, Roc-A-Wear had managed to rack up about $80 million in sales. Every artist on Roc-A-Fella was promoting Roc-A-Wear on their bodies, especially Jay-Z, who was also promoting the brand in his songs. With Dame's knowledge of style and Jay-Z, one of the biggest stars of the 90s, promoting the brand, Roc-A-Wear became a household name. Also, with Dame Dash in charge, Jay-Z went on a 54-city tour supported by various Roc-A-Fella rappers, alongside other rappers such as DMX, Redman, and DJ Clue. Jay-Z made about $20 million from this tour, which was the most successful rap tour in history at the time. Dame even produced a documentary for this tour called Backstage, which showed the audience live performances and exclusive clips of what happens backstage. This was Roc-A-Fella at its peak. They were pulling in hundreds of millions of dollars in sales, not just from music, but from other businesses as well. Everything was heading in the right direction. But it seems Dame Dash allowed the success of the label, Roc-A-Wear, and everything else to get into his head. Dame started making some ludicrous decisions. He became more focused on being a celebrity rather than being a CEO, which is what Jay-Z needed him to be. Dame Dash had a personal assistant and an executive assistant, a chef, and Dame even had someone auditioning to be his butler. But when Dame was asked why he needed a butler, he said, "Not too many people understand how important having a butler is. I need somebody to help me get everything I'm about to wear for the day all set up. You think it's easy, but I've got a lot to put together accessory-wise, especially at night. Cufflinks are a mother effort." And if you watch Dame Dash's episode of MTV Cribs, you will realize that Dame is one of the most self-absorbed persons you would ever meet.
If you notice, there's nothing in here worn more than once, period.
You ain't wearing these.
I might.
Actually, they're old stuff, right?
I might. It depends on the occasion. I might do something with it on stage. You know?
What size are you, man?
9.5, 10.
Nah, no, just for me, man.
I'm actually coming out with my own sneaker through Nike. But that's a secret. Maybe by the time you hear this, it'll be out. The CEOs, sneakers to get money in.
If you think having a room for your sneakers is insane, Dame Dash actually had 2 rooms for his sneakers. A room for his Adidas sneakers and a room for his Nike sneakers. Now, you could say Dame was just trying to enjoy his money, but all of this started to affect Dame's relationship with Jay-Z. Dame was wasting company money on vanity spending, and he was also making business decisions without consulting his partner. One of such decisions was giving Cameron his own imprint under Roc-A-Fella, and he even tried to make him the vice president of the label. And he made these decisions without consulting Jay-Z. Another issue that became a problem was Dame's aggressive and loud management style. During the Hard Knock tour, Dame Dash flew off the handle when he found out Memphis Bleek and other Roc-A-Fella artists had been given a jacket that had the Def Jam logo on it, rather than the Roc-A-Fella logo.
See this jacket? Shit, got this, man. You see the Memphis Bleek? I didn't never have a Roc-A-Fella quote that said Memphis Bleak. This the only thing Def Jam got one up on. But other than that, Roc-A-Fella is the home team.
Oh my God! You just dropped that one. All of a sudden, there's Def Jam jackets with niggas' names on all over the tour. That shit is weak, man. You ain't been doing that. Everybody wants a jacket. You want to do something, make a motherfucking Hard Knock Life tour jacket. We don't want that shit. No. Why do I need Beanie Man and Memphis Bleak wearing a Def Jam jacket? They on Roc-A-Fella. All of a sudden, niggas got jackets with their names on and on our tour. It makes it look like a Def Jam tour. Wait a second. All right, look. You're the president of the company, right? So that means you're smart. Am I right? So don't sit there and play dumb. Now, wait. If everybody on this tour has a Def Jam jacket on, what would be the general perception of this when people just walking around and don't know nothing? What would it look like? So then, knowing this, why wouldn't you be extra sensitive about giving everybody Def Jam jackets on this tour? Why? You're president, now you know. So either you're real smart or you're real dumb. It's one or the other. And I'm not gonna say that you're real dumb. I'm gonna say you're real smart. So you know better.
If you are wondering who Dame was yelling at, that was the Def Jam president at the time, Kevin Liles. But this didn't matter to Dame at all. In fact, Dame Dash wasn't even done just yet.
It's like y'all put motherfucking Def Jam presents the Def Jam's Hard Knock Life on Russell Simmons show. That was love? How is that a mistake? From the mistakes. How is that a mistake? Because Russell does not look at every single thing that comes up. He doesn't. I'm sorry, Russell, the person that somehow owns this fucking doesn't know that this is not his tour? He don't know that? No, he knows that. So wait, all right, the people at his company don't know that? Right, maybe not. Maybe not. If that's the case, that means the general public don't know that. You're fucking professional, and you're too smart to make these kind of dumbass mistakes. You all right? Sony wouldn't do this. Loud gets his props. RCA don't take that. Bad Boy gets his prop. Arista don't take that. But Face gets his prop. Y'all gotta be out your fucking face in everything we do. Then I gotta be the asshole and yell. I don't feel like doing that shit all the time. I'm sick of that shit. Yo, for 30% of my day goes to correcting your fucking mistake. They're gonna pay me more for that? It is true, man. It's false. Please don't take an act of love. That ain't no love, man. That's promotion. That's trying to change. Yo, who you think you're talking to? I understand. All I need y'all to do is cut the checks. That's it. We're taking all the chances. We're the ones that boycott the Grammy. We're the ones that motherfucking put our ass on the line and did this tour, and we still don't get the credit for it. Why not? I don't know why, because your fucking fat ass is around all the time. Every time we talk, that's bullshit. Like we're partners. We're not partners. That's new for you to say that. We ain't partners. What are we? Y'all cut us checks. Y'all got 25%, and what's the name has another 25%. But y'all not equal partners. You don't think I know that? What do you mean? You and Polly gonna split 50%. Absolutely. All right, so y'all not partners. You got a quarter. You a quarter order. That's it.
This wouldn't be the only time that Dame Dash would react in this manner. Dame became known for screaming at employees and also sacking various executives. When Jay was asked about having any issues with Dame, he stated that they were cool and didn't have any major problems.
First question, Dame Dash and Jay-Z.
Yeah.
A lot of people thought that the two of you were feuding over business issues.
Right.
Can you clarify that for the
thing about me and Dame is like whatever we don't agree on, we can always talk to each other, and we can always, whether I'm wrong or whether he's wrong or whatever, we can always see our way through it. It's never a problem that we can't see our way through it, and people just blew it up to be more than what it was. I mean, it's what we've been doing for forever. We're two different people, you know what I'm saying? He's a loud guy, I'm a laid back guy. Like you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be times where we're not on 100% on the same page, but we're friends, you know what I'm saying? We came in this thing, we built this from nothing, nothing, like, taking our own records, getting them pressed up ourselves, so there's nothing that we can't see our way through.
Dame Dash then had another episode of losing his shit when he heard about a secret meeting concerning Jay-Z's Black album that he wasn't invited to. Dame heard about this and called the Roc-A-Fella videographer, Choke No Joke, to go with him to the boardroom meeting.
So he was wondering how could they call a meeting for Roc-A-Fella, or for a Roc-A-Fella artist without him being privy to what was going on as the CEO or co-CEO along with Dame and Biggs. So what happened, Dame told me, Choke, Def Jam called a meeting for the Black album. They didn't inform me. Meet me at the office at 9:30. We gonna bust up in the meeting at 10 o'clock.
Dame ambushed everyone at the meeting and behaved in a manner that was definitely not CEO-like.
Name and dash, make sure I was privy to it, and make sure I was CC'd or whatever. You don't send an email randomly at 10:30 at night or whatever it is at night, the day we all had awake. That shit don't fly right. That shit is fucked up. And on another level, it's not for y'all to y'all do not control any of my artists. That's why I'm asking questions. Everybody's looking dumb in the face. So what was we doing? What was we talking about in terms of Jay? Let me know.
Why don't we just call the meeting?
Why?
Because you know what it's like.
Why?
Damon, no one.
Why? Who cares? Why? We all here. Why now you want to call a meeting?
Because you know what? No one needs to sit here and be.
No one is, so then get the fuck out. I don't give a fuck. Then get out. This is not about you. We're gonna do something about Jay. We're gonna do it together. All right then, but why you didn't call me? You want to make excuses? You can talk all you want. This is treacherous. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. I'm sick of this shit. I'm sick of this shit. And go get Leo. You always leave when you ain't got shit to fucking say. This nigga just got sued for this bullshit. The same kind of shit. Y'all better stop fucking with me. Y'all gonna get your man in some trouble. I'm telling you. So if y'all want to talk about Jay, if there was an agenda, let's go through it.
No, we're gonna reschedule, man.
What the fuck you mean you're gonna reschedule?
We're gonna reschedule, man.
What you mean you're gonna reschedule? You get the fuck out. Look, y'all heard now that Rockefeller said no one wants to go. You're not a leader. You don't know shit about my culture. Get the fuck out. You don't know shit about Jay. Get the fuck out, Randy Acker. That's why all artists kick your fucking ass anyway.
Excuse me?
That's why you stay getting punched in your face by other artists, not by Dame Dash, but other people, because you don't respect my culture. That's why. That's why you've been smacked. Not by me, by other people. Get out of here. Beat it. No one needs you. Get out. Clear a sample or something.
Dame Dash was constantly burning bridges with various business partners, and Jay-Z knew that if he was to reach the heights he wanted to in the business world, Dame's behavior wasn't sustainable. So, in 2004, Jay-Z had secret meetings with the executives at Universal. He was offered the role of president and CEO of Def Jam, with a $30 million payout that would see him earn $10 million a year for the next 3 years. Jay was also offered ownership of all his Def Jam produced master recordings. It was a deal too good to turn down. Def Jam also bought the remaining 50% of Roc-A-Fella that was owned by Jay, Biggs, and Dame in a deal reportedly worth $50 million. So, on the 24th of December 2004, Jay asked Dame and Biggs to meet him for dinner at the Italian restaurant Da Silvano in Manhattan. Jay told Biggs and Dame about the offer he received from Universal. He told XXL, "So I was like, let me get Reasonable Doubt, and I'll give up the rest of my masters. I'll give up Roc-A-Fella, I'll give up president and CEO of Def Jam, everything. Just give me my baby to hold on to so 10 years down the line, I can look back and I got something. I'm not empty-handed." And I was the one being offered everything. I thought it was more than fair. And when that was turned down, I had to make a choice. I'll leave that for the people to say what choice they would have made. That's about it. I don't really want to talk about Dame or Biggs. I don't have nothing negative to say about them. Jay's partners refused to give him the Reasonable Doubt Masters, so he went ahead to become the CEO of Def Jam. Dame immediately tried to start his own new label, because you know it's a crime for Dame Dash to have a boss.
There's no money in this world for someone to pay me so they could call me, so I could call them a boss. That's like calling somebody daddy. How can a man call another man, yo, that's my boss? We don't do that.
Dame's new label, Dame Dash Music, was going to be directly under Universal and not Def Jam, as he never wanted Jay-Z to be his boss. However, Dame's new label fell apart, or never happened because he was continually having issues with the executives. Dame Dash wanted to completely cut off ties with Jay-Z, so he decided to sell off his stakes in Rocawear for $22 million. He invested that money in his ex-wife Rachel Roy's fashion business.
Felt like it was starting to compromise. It wasn't reflective of me anymore, so I sold my interest in Rocawear so that I can invest in something that was more reflective of my taste, which was Rachel Roy. And instead of investing in a man all day, I preferred to invest in a woman. You know what I'm saying? A woman that I love.
Rachel was initially an intern at Roc-A-Fella before marrying Dame. But taking his money from Rocawear turned out to be another bad business decision for Dame. He and Rachel Roy eventually got divorced. In April 2015, she accused him of domestic abuse and was even granted a 3-year restraining order against Dame. Rachel also won a bitter custody battle against Dame and has sole custody of their 2 daughters. Dame Dash eventually filed a $2.5 million claim for mishandling the same fashion business he left Roc-A-Wear for. But at least Dame Dash was no longer involved with Roc-A-Wear and had no boss. To make matters worse for Dame, just about a year after he sold his stake in Roc-A-Wear, Jay-Z sold the rights to the brand to Iconic's brand group for $204 million. Let's assume that Dame owned at least a quarter of Roc-A-Wear. If he hadn't sold his stake earlier, he would have made at least $51 million rather than the $22 million he sold his stake for. Dame Dash states that he believes Jay-Z robbed him.
And no matter what, I'm always gonna feel that way. So you're never gonna, like if I hit somebody with some work and they run off, when he said he wasn't gonna be a part of it while I was selling it and devalued it, and then, I stepped away from it because I needed to go do my own thing, then all of a sudden they do a big deal like that, that was dirty. They put me, that was dirty. It was dirty business.
These days, Dame Dash has gone from being the man that can never have a boss to a man who can no longer pay his child support. But if you ask Dame, he's not broke. In true Dame Dash fashion, he states that he's proud broke. In an interview with Vibe magazine, Dame stated, "So I can't pay out $300,000 or $400,000 a year in child support because I ain't making that. But I'm not ashamed of that because I have these things to show for it, but it hasn't profited yet. I'm like a proud broke, but I ain't broke because I have things to show for it." Dame Dash lost his business partly because of his ego, the way he treats people, handles business, and the lavish spending. He had a house in Beverly Hills and a Tribeca loft. Dame had a 3-bedroom closet. The sneaker rooms in the dressing room in this closet all had their own bathrooms. Dame also had a wall of shelves just for t-shirts and socks, and he only ever wore all these things once, because he's Dame Dash. Dame had over 1,200 sneakers that he also only wore once. Dame also always had 2 videographers in his house. One of them was the guy Dame hired to record everything he did. The second camera is the videographer who was hired to record the first videographer. Yeah, you heard right. Dame also had a problem of owning and running too many companies. It's good to own multiple companies, but there's only so much you can do. There's a reason why most billionaires are known for mostly owning one major business. Dame had 5 different clothing and shoe companies, a Swiss watch company, a vodka company, a television production company, and a movie production company. If you want to know just how successful Dame's many companies are, just think about the fact that you had never heard about these companies until today. It's easy to fall for the illusion that owning all these companies is impressive, but any right-thinking person would tell you this isn't sustainable. But of course, Dame would never take accountability for his downfall. Luckily for him, he still doesn't have a boss. Now, I'm not saying Jay-Z is a saint or that some of the things he did weren't dirty. Dame Dash had his many fine qualities, but would you have continued working with the Dame Dash, knowing the way he burns bridges and screams at people? Would you have continued working with someone who wanted to start a new business almost every day? Would you have continued working with someone who spends company money lavishly? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to Rap Rewind, and I will see you in the next one.